So I went into RV Lifestyles here in Quartzsite, and I was looking on the other side of this display. They have wave heaters, and I've owned a wave 3. I upgraded to a wave 6. They're catalytic heaters, and I've been using the wave 6 for about a year. And I'm satisfied with it, but I was still intrigued by what I was seeing here. These were all plugged in and working. They weren't catalytic heaters, but they were advertised as ventless heaters. One in particular that I was interested in said it was using infrared technology. And the price points that these three we're looking at here were all under $300. And so I started talking to them about the company. I never heard of it. It's called Empire. And they primarily make ventless heaters for homes and small spaces, and nothing. They don't market at all towards the RV market, which explains why I've never seen them or heard of them before. And it was pretty intriguing. These things are pretty big, but there was one on the end here that wasn't very big. So it was this one, and it was 360 or 379 there. They said it was about $100 or more than all the other ones, and I was curious. I asked them, why is this smaller one so much more expensive than the larger ones? And what she told me was that this actually is the same BTU rating as the big one next to it, but they've managed to put it in a much smaller footprint, and that's the reason for the higher price. It's very popular. When I was looking at this the first time I looked at it, they had 2 left in stock, and then the second time I went, there was only 1 left in stock. And the more I read about these things and thought about it, I said, you know what? I think I can sell my wave. I'm going to just give this thing a try. And here are the results. So this is the Wave 6 I've been running for about a year, and it does throw out a lot of heat. It just sips the propane. It's safe. It's a little bit more expensive than the one I just looked at, but it's in the same ballpark. Here, the big disadvantage, though, is there's a low, medium, and high setting. That's it. There's no thermostat. There's no regulation other than those manual settings. And frankly, I never saw a big difference between low, medium, and high. It really wasn't appreciable. So in the beginning of the evening, it would raise the temperature too high in my rig and then barely keep up in the wee hours in the morning. So what really intrigued me about the Empire unit is the thermostat, and here's how it worked out for me. Well, here it is installed. It's a thicker than the Wave unit, but the footprint overall is probably a third smaller than the Wave, so it takes up less space on the wall. And I got to tell you, I'm really impressed by this thing. So let me show you how it works. You first in the evening when you start, you have to light the pilot. So you click on that, and I'm hoping you can see that blue flame there. And it says to leave it on there leave your finger down for about a minute, so the sensor heats up enough so where it's going to trigger the free flow of propane. So I found it takes about 30 seconds. So I'm going to try to release it now. It's on. And to turn it clockwise, I turn it counterclockwise to increase the temperature. This dial up here is the thermostat. And there it goes on. And you can see it's blue at first, and it'll slowly change to an orange color. And already I can feel the heat coming out. So to set the thermostat, it's not like you can go up there and set a particular temperature, but it trust me, this is just as good. You get it going, and once it's going full, you wait until the interior of the room gets up to the temperature you like. Like right now, I'm looking at my temp, it's 72 degrees. So I'm gonna back this down slowly until it turns off. And it'll just have the pilot light going. There we go, and then I up it just a little, Get it right on the edge there. So it's off now, and it knows to go on if the temperature falls a couple of degrees below where it is now. And it works like a charm. I've had it for 2 nights. And I'm the kind of guy, I'm over 60, no matter how well I sleep, I'm up to at least twice during the night for the old men's room. And most of the time when I wake up, it's not running. And it's not running because we're at temperature. And rarely do I open my eyes and look over and see the red glow. That tells me it's really using very little propane. There were 2 problems with the Wave. Actually, there are 3. 2 operational and 1 policy problem. The 2 operational problems were there's no thermostat. You set it to low, medium, or high, and I never saw much of any difference between those settings, frankly. So there's no thermostat. Once you turn it on early in the evening, it's going to run until you turn it off the next morning. So it's going to burn propane the whole time. This one, I'll have to experiment and do some measurements, but it certainly isn't even running half the time. I'd say it's running probably 25% of the time, which has got to be a huge savings on propane. So one of the problems with the Wave is early in the evening when the ambient temperature outdoors is not that bad, it really heats this place up to sometimes unbearable levels, over 80, and even on the low setting. So, and then it gets, after the temperature comes down in the middle of the night, early morning, it's fine. But there's no real good temperature regulation like there is with this one. The other problem is service. If you have a problem with the Camco Wave products, you have to send it back to the manufacturer. And if it's outside warranty, you've got to do that shipping cost by yourself and pay for the parts and the labor and everything. No one other than the manufacturer is authorized or can get parts for the Wave heaters. But this one, they can service it. RV Lifestyles can service these. They can get parts. They know how to service them. So that's really a big comfort to me. And RV Lifestyle did it again. And let me tell you, they were even surprised when they only had one of these left. I went and looked at it twice, and I finally, I'm pulling the trigger. And I went and I'm looking at the price, and I got out my phone and I went to the manufacturer's website, and I found this. It was on sale on the manufacturer's website for over $600. And I went and found the manager and I said, am I seeing this right? Is it the same model? And we both went through it and verified it's exactly the same model. Now, here you are. Here's a couple of other options on Amazon where you can get it for less than the manufacturer, but there's nowhere that really comes anywhere close to their price. The bad news is, if you're in Quartzsite and this excites you, this particular model, I bought the last one. And I asked, can you just order them? They said, no, they do 1 order a season, so they won't have these back in stock until next year when they order another batch. But like I said, it's available on Amazon, I think. I'll put up the picture of what I found on Amazon. They do have the floor model left. I don't know if they're selling that or not. I have no idea. I should have asked, but I didn't. But and they have the bigger model for, I think it's $200 something. It does exactly the same thing, and it's probably, again, this much wider, probably not much heavier, does exactly the same thing. And if this one had been gone, I probably would have bought the bigger one for less money. So bravo again, RV Lifestyles. I mean, they don't pay me, they don't give me anything really. This is not like a paid promotion for them. I did a video when I first got here when I needed a Dometic toilet, and their price was $20 under Amazon or any other source. So I did a video on that, and for me it blew up. I'm a small channel. I got almost 7,000 views. And then I come back and save even more money with this. And not only am I saving money, but they educated me on this brand, Empire brand heaters, and they don't really market to the RV people. They market to homes, small homes. They make much bigger heaters that they advertise as being ventless propane heaters. So, and there's a small line of smaller ones, and they're actually not easy to find on their website. Anyway, I hope you got some value out of this video, and I'm really excited about my new heater. Do I have a furnace? I got a propane furnace, sure. It works great, other than the fan that draws 7.5 amps when it's running. And a cold night, it'll run 80% of the time, and I'll have to run it from 6 o'clock at night until 7 o'clock in the morning, 13, 14 hours. By the time everything's done, it sucked anywhere from 60 to 80 amps out of my battery bank. And if I can get something that doesn't use electricity to provide the same heat, I'm going to do it. Then I have my furnace as backup too, so I'll never be cold in Quartzsite. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next video.